Let's go ahead and get this Fields and Russ real quick. Can I talk Fields and Russ real quick, man? All right, baby. Let's talk Fields and Russ, Deke. I got to talk Fields and Russ. Fields looked dang good today, bro. Start to finish, he looked dang good. It wasn't perfect, but it looked dang good. First deep ball he threw was
Basically
the GP.
the same stuff
Yeah.
we've been seeing and saying
Bro.
the last 6 or 7 days.
Yeah. It was consistent. That was the other part. It was consistent today. I thought
Consistent enough.
Yeah, it wasn't as up and down. I thought that it was consistent today. Like I said, man, beautiful deep ball. The GP start the day out, man, when they first started the team period and stuff, man. You saw him put his legs on display. And the other crazy part is, man, you watch him take off in person, Deke, and you're just like, yo, you're not even trying. But you're just just like, bro, it is so effortless. Just like, and he's moving at a different speed, bro.
Listen, I'll continue to say this. Where was this from him at Ohio State?
Yeah.
Because it was non-existent.
Yeah.
He was a pocket passer. Like, he
bro.
came into the draft and we were talking about like his arm talent and
I like
playing
bro.
from the pocket and stuff. Like, we were not talking about his rushing ability, and he's made a name for himself from that in the league thus far. Like, he set the single season record for rushing yards from the quarterback.
Anytime he wanted to pull it and run, that was the part where you're just like, yeah, that's a different speed. Like I said, the overall from him, he's not a perfect player, and that's the other part, because we got a chance to see Russ, especially doing Russ didn't do a lot of team stuff. He did Indy in 7-on-7, so it was, you get a chance to kind of see him in terms of Russ, how he operates it. But watching Fields, that was the one thing that I would just, in terms of if I had a negative on Fields, I think Fields has beautiful touch on a lot of his passes. I just felt like at times Fields, it takes him a little bit longer to see it. Whereas you watch Russ, and we'll talk Russ even more so in a little bit. It's a machine, bro. You see it, bop, bop, boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop, bop, boom. Whereas with Fields, it's like, all right, if he see it, good luck, it's a problem. But then it's times where it's like, but now he can get busy. And that's what saves him. Because it's times where that man, I don't see it. And he hits you here, come out of that thing. You like, who would have had him? Who would have had him? No, you ain't. And it's from a defensive dude. No, you ain't had that, man. That's the type of stuff that he brings. But like I said, that's the part with him where you're saying you want him to be able to elevate that part in terms of how he reads it, how he sees it. But, man, the talent, it continues to show up. Literally, I'm sitting next to Charlie Batch out there, man. Phil's throw this pass. We just kind of like, boy. That's him. We get it. Yeah, boy. And that's the part where I'm just like, yo, I see it, man. I see it. And dudes are starting to believe it. That's the other part. Don't think that it's one of them things where, we'll hear fans, media talk about it one way, but the players are kind of looking at it differently. And like I said, they still have utmost trust and respect in Russ. But they're also rumblings of like, yo, they believe in it. And it's like, yo, if this is what he can do consistently, we dang sure can win with this. If that's what he can give us, if this is just where we are with Fields, we for certain could do it with that. And that's also a positive vibe, because I'm saying to myself, I want this to be the worst you've looked. I want you to only be 2 months from now, you should be looking way better than what I'm seeing in training camp today. Right? When we're in December, you should be looking way better than what we saw at OTAs. That's my mindset. So if they're saying that, like, all right, if y'all could believe it, I could definitely believe it. You know what I mean? So that's the part that I also, like I said, with Fields, that I thought was dope, man. So shout out to Justin Fields, man. But he's been looking good, man. He looked good to me today, man.
Now, talk about Russ.
Now with Russ, bro, Russ is Russ. Russ is, man, it looked vet beautiful. All right. My man come out there, like I say, he wasn't doing a ton of the other stuff. But when it was 7 on, you got a chance to really see Russ take the reps. And literally, he threw 3 deep balls in a row. Deke. He couldn't have walked down there and put that ball in my man's chest any more perfectly. Shoot, one should have been caught. I was on the sideline with the homies. He was like, hey, bro, You dropped that. DB, it was a great play by the DB, but it's like, bro.
Who, Quez Watkins?
No, I ain't doing the names. I don't want to do that one. Just know. Just know. That ball hit right here on that left nipple. The defender was on the right nipple. They were about 30 yards downfield. And you like, how the heck did he do that? Unfortunately, that receiver could not. He's not a one-hand artist. He's not. It wasn't GP. We'll just say that. All right. But, bruh, I'm talking like, yo, effortless. But you could tell in terms of how quickly he processes and what he is already seeing pre-snap. My big takeaway was Russ already knows at times what we're in on defense before the ball snapped. And that's why as soon as the ball was snapped, boom, he's going backside. Boom, he's going front side. Now he's taking a shot. Whereas with Fields, at times it's more so, I think there are times where he can see it pre-snap and he has it. But then I think for him, it's a lot of post-snap. I'm catching on to it. But he's doing it fast and he's athletic, so it buys him time. Russ just looks like he knows ahead of time. Bro, you're in this. I don't care what he's doing. This tells me he's in that. And that's the 7, the Rodgers, the Mannings. That's that. The Mahomes is like, yeah. When you can't, fool these dudes anymore, it's like, yo, he knows what he's in. Doesn't change anything. That's the part where it's like, yeah. And Russ definitely has that. That, as soon as he took reps, you're like, oh, yeah. That's the part that makes Russ.
So what do you think happened with Denver last year? Because a lot of the complaints about Russ was he wasn't getting the ball out quick enough. He would miss the first or second read and take a sack. You think that was just system didn't fit him? I
think it was a combination of multiple things. Russ didn't have his best season, and we could all agree with that. I think that at times, though, whenever we're criticizing players that have reached certain heights, it's like if they're not at that elite height anymore, we're just so ready to crucify them and say they fell off completely. I think both these can be true, that he didn't have his best performance season-wise. And, yes, he did miss some throws. He did have some bad plays. But we can also pull up them tape and show where he's actually made a ton of highlight reel plays. He made a ton of consistent quarterback plays where that ball was getting out on time. That's the part where I'm like, did you not watch that Chiefs game? Did you not watch that Bills game? Because you told me in those two games specifically last year that he did not play at a high level. And that's, when I look at the Denver situation, I just say, man, you had a lot going on out there, though. You got the Sean Payton situation going on. You got your receiver situation going on. Who's the number one out there? We talked about that. Is it Judy? Is it Cortland? And who's nice enough to be the real go-to guy? Because both of them dudes kind of inconsistent. What your running game look like? There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But at the same time, could he have been better? Yeah. And that's why I just say the Denver situation, there were multiple variables at it. No different than how you kind of look at the Kenny situation. You look at here and it's like, yeah, it was legit. There were multiple variables. Did Kenny could Kenny have played better? Yes. But does the coordinator matter? Yes. Does the personnel in terms of receivers matter? Yes. Does the O-line matter? Yes. And all those factors can still be true while still saying that, yes, Kenny could have played better. So that's kind of how I look at Russ in Denver. The only difference is, statistically, he still finished at a higher clip than a lot of other quarterbacks league-wide. It's just our expectation for Russ is you're a top 5 caliber quarterback, not a top 15 caliber quarterback. And the numbers he gave last year were more top 15-ish than top 5-ish. But that doesn't mean he's a bad player. And both of those things can also be true.
And I think Arthur Smith and his system and what we got going on here with the, I guess, the improved offensive line, the added weapons, how we got everything set up is going to be very much tailored towards him. Yeah. I think it's going to help him.
And as opposed he's so hurt smart, him.
Bro. In Denver, I mean, you could make the argument that his surroundings, in a way, were hurting him.
Yeah.
Because those receivers, for the most part, were trash, in my opinion, outside of Cortland Sutton. Sean Payton, obviously not a great fit with Russ and Russ's play style.
And clearly we know it was also tension behind the scenes with this scenario also.
I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the best one. First year he was hurt. But last year weird situation. I guess made the most of it, having them come back from being 1-5. I think they got to
Yeah.
like 6-5 at some point in the playoff mix and
I
everything.
remember they had got beat by, it was a 70-7 at one
They
point.
tried
right?
benching Russ in the middle of all that too. But yeah, I think all those reasons are why Russ is still QB1. If you're betting your money on winning games this year, it's Russell Wilson, because even in inclement situations or Russ having a down year, still winning games, still putting up numbers, whereas Justin Fields last year, we're going to say that was his best season. Bears went 5-8 when he started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Fields hasn't even really proven to get on Russ's level and on Russ's like bad seasons in a way. I mean, it's arguable.
All right,
But then
it's
like
legit. Everything
Russ
you're
on an
saying is
average
legit, man.
season is like Hall of Fame. Russ's great seasons is Super Bowls, and you're talking about let Russ cook and
MVPs,
talking get him in the MVP
bro.
conversation and stuff like that. But just average Russ throughout the course of his career is it's Hall of Fame, because if you average out all of his seasons and just what he's done, he's a Hall of Famer, 9-time Pro Bowler.
That's facts, bro. That's facts.
That's where we're at. But yeah, I mean the Justin Fields stuff, it definitely is exciting. Whenever you see the throws, you see the runs, you like see the vision of what
you
it
see.
could be.
That's the thing. You see the vision of it, bro.
But then you go back to these are just moments. These are cool moments, but what does this mean over the course of a game, course of a season for us winning games?
Yep.
Are we gonna get these random fumbles too? Are we gonna get these intercepted? Are we gonna get like these?
Because that still
these
does
quarters
happen, and that's the unfortunate
consecutive
part.
series of the offense doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And we get down 14 points, 20 points, or whatever. Because I mean that's a lot of Justin Fields games. A lot of the highlights you could look down at the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is true.
And it's garbage time. It's third quarter, fourth quarter type of stuff, and they're down 20 points, 30 points. The game's already over. Whereas Russ, I mean, we know he keep a game close. You get it in the third or fourth quarter, you're down double digits, you're down 14, you're down 10.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny was doing that type of stuff, but no one wanted to talk about that.
Talk your talk. There it is. Talk your talk, man.
Kenny was doing good stuff in the fourth quarter.
Talk your talk,
Didn't he have
man.
the best like QB rating.
There it is. Talk your talk,
100
man.
QB rating.
Talk your talk,
7-game
man.
winning drive.
Talk your talk, man.
But Russ obviously does that too, and on a higher level.
Nah, but shout out to them dudes though, man. I thought, like I said, both of those dudes though, in my eyes, man, did certain things where it was impressive. Where I was like, you know what? That's nice. If that is who has to be the guy, that's nice. If that has, that's still nice. That works.